All right, we're about to be live in a minute. Let me know when you see it, Charles.
Okay.
All right, we should be live in just a second.
Right now.
All right, we're about to be live in a minute. Okay. Can you hear me good?
You good? Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's get it done. All right, Mr. Dixon, I'm sorry about the drama with the computer ministries on tonight,
You know.
but it's all your fault though this time. It's not my
Uh,
fault.
uh-huh.
Yeah, we're gonna play the blame game on tonight. We should change the topic of the show to the blame game on tonight. How you doing, Mr. Dixon?
I'm well. Long week, and when it comes to these type of shows, you got to get
Uh-huh.
your mind all prepared. That's a little stressful. You got to,
Let me know
you
what
know,
you
it's
think.
all right though. It's all right.
So you stressed out about it, Charles? Is that
No,
so?
I'm fine.
Oh,
It's,
okay. Get
it's
yourself
my
together on tonight. So much you stressed out, honey. Get
it's
yourself
my
together.
premeditation measures I take before I sabotage the show. But it's all right.
You know what? That's so you need to get yourself together, honey. Get yourself right with the Lord on this evening, honey. Don't even try all that so much you're gonna sabotage this show, honey. We on national TV and you talking about sabotaging something? Get yourself right, honey. Get yourself right on tonight. My Lord, I tell you what. So, I may need to consider finding a new co-host because you don't seem like you want to act right on this evening.
Yes, I'm gonna be pretty belligerent today. But go
You
ahead.
know what? See, you know what? This one coming in here. This is foolishness. Absolute foolishness. That's all right. I ain't gonna talk about you in front of company. We never know who's watching.
You're right.
So let's say a quick word of prayer before we get started, okay? We really need to pray for you, honey. Bow your whole head on tonight.
All right, go ahead.
Father, we thank you for this opportunity, this time of share. We thank you for helping us to overcome the technical difficulties. And Lord, please help Charles to behave on tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right. We shall proceed. All right.
So check this out, Charles. This is going to be an interesting subject because, people act like this is not a big issue, but this is a real big issue, the sexting thing, Charles.
Indeed.
So I'm going to read the narrative and we're going to get it popping. All right. You ready, Charles?
Yes. Go right ahead.
All right. It's been said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, what if the words are all of an indiscreet nature, where the only thing that is aroused is your loins? The image is driven by the possibility of mutual encounter, yet your intent is not for it to end there. You state the obvious in a text message of what you imagine the encounter to be like with your physical interest, and then you think about the fact, what have I done?
Mm.
Considering the thoughts of the person on the receiving end, will what you share become public knowledge instead of a private affair? Do they now see you solely as a sex object and nothing else? Is sexting really a healthy way to express your physical desire to engage with someone? Will they respect you in the morning or will they be repulsed by your behavior? Or could
Mm.
it be the spice that keeps the life of your relationship viable? Is it the physical aid that keeps your mate engaged, or is it something that is commonplace and not unique in any way? Let's
Mm.
talk about it. Sexting, is it tasteful or tacky, and will they respect me in the morning?
Mm.
Let's say good evening to our viewing audience tonight. We have Gracia in the building, Bridget Silas, Tonil, Shania Wiggins. Hey.
Hey, family.
Sharia. Hey, Sharia. What's up, girl? We have Marcus Sutter. We have Caprice watching. And of course, we got Miss Deborah in the building. We got Frederico here and somebody named, Yolanda. Hey, Yolanda. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. Dr. Janet Newell is with us and she's watching as well. Hey, Walter. What's up?
You hear what
He's
Walter
somebody.
said? He said, let me erase these pics. Hold on, y'all.
You know what? Want to get yourself together on tonight with the picture ministries that's in your cell phone. I don't want to have to
Walter's
see
crazy.
what's in your cell phone. Hey, Sharia, what's up? So, Charles, listen. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and get to the meat of this matter.
Oh, my
Let's
goodness.
get to the meat of the matter, Charles. Is sexting tasteful or tacky? Do you like getting nasty pictures of your woman? Go ahead and tell us, Charles.
No. Woo.
Let's
All
just
right.
go for the juggler, Charles.
Woo. Okay, let me see. All right. Now, if, if I am organically honest, right? I
Uh-huh.
think I think it can be done tastefully in the confines of a grown and sexy commitment. I say that, and I say that like that, but honestly, it is something that you really, really have to have a serious grown-up conversation about. And I say that because, you figure relationships start today and they end tomorrow.
Sure.
However, the pictures still live on, and the
My Lord,
videos,
my Lord.
whatever else you call it. So, you really have to use discretion strongly with the person that you attempt to do this with. I think if done in good taste, it can be a good romantic spicer. It can encourage you to want to see the person quickly, like real quick, or you can set them dates and whatever you need to do to see them, whatever. It kind of mentally speeds things up for you in terms of the chemistry if done tastefully throughout your day, whatever. As we know, men are
Hold on one second.
visual.
Hold on one second, Charles.
Okay, go ahead. Now, so you asked me the question. Now you're gonna go left, and then go on.
I'm going all the way left on tonight, Charles. It's just me and you. Ain't nobody to interject. Ain't no referee tonight.
All right,
Say
all
what
right.
I'm gonna say what I want to say on tonight. You're not gonna be able to tell me and tell me and dictate on this evening, Charles. Ain't nobody got time for that today.
All right.
So listen, what about the dude who is driven by the images and he gets caught up in the technology instead of the woman?
Now, what do you mean technology? What are you saying?
Like, porn is not real, right?
Right,
Sexting is not real. It's a false reality.
right.
So
It's only
girls,
false. It's only false until you drive over there. But go ahead.
that's my whole point. That's the
Right,
whole point right there. So
right.
girl sends boy the text, right, with the
Yeah.
image on there.
Okay.
And she's cleaned it all up, and got on
Yeah.
there and did her little tweaking and all that kind of stuff,
Right,
right?
right.
So the guy is stimulated by this image that he thinks is the truth,
Mm.
right?
But you're
But
talking about her photoshopping it.
yeah, it's basically catfishing
Right, right.
in a sense. You know what I mean? So when you really think about sexting, is it really real? Is it really real? Is it really real, or is it where somebody is practicing and trying to rehearse how the image is gonna look and things like that and
Well,
cleaning it up?
I'm gonna be honest. If you're getting into really, if you're doing all of that and doctoring up and all these different things, then it's really not an organic experience. When people really do this in an organic state, it's sort of like you just talking on the phone. Hey, send me blah blah blah. I need to see so and so, whatever, or vice versa. And the person, what you mean? Let me go in the bathroom, or let me go over here to this side, and then it's like a raw snap or whatever it is, and they send it to you. It's not really some. If the person gonna take half the day touching it up, then you done just killed the vibe. It has to be organic and right there on the spot. You know, don't be
Well, Charles,
practicing.
let
Don't
me
be
say something
faking.
to you on this evening, honey. Let me tell you something about these stretch marks and things that go on in women's bodies after we done had railroad tracks of babies and stuff like that, and all that foolishness. Ain't nobody gonna send no raw picture with no bunch of stretch marks, and you gotta,
Well,
you
guess
gotta
what?
put that
Guess
stuff
what?
on.
Guess what? We see it anyway when lights come on, so you might as well send them that in real time. Go
Well,
ahead.
honey, let me just say something to you on this evening, honey.
Uh-huh.
Most of the stuff that we do is in the dark, honey. Ain't no lights on tonight.
Woo.
So
Mm.
all this stuff is deviantly done in the dark. So oftentimes, old girl gonna put on some clothes before you get the full view of what it is you thought you saw in the first place anyway.
Mm. Wow. Well, let me since you like for me to dip into my closet, right? So let me tell you some
Yeah, go on into the
experiences.
closet, Charles. Tell
Let
them
me tell you
what you
some
gonna tell them.
experiences. I remember uh, some time ago because there are some people that they just kind of mess the whole sexting thing up altogether. And what I mean by that is it's one thing to have a conversation with somebody and they're talking and you so and so. And I remember this dealing with someone at some point in time who was really into this. And when I say into this is where it gets turned off part. So the person thought they were being cute. First they tried to show me their work outfit. It was like, what they had on going to work and all of this. And then they were like, yeah, I like to keep it spicy when I'm talking to my so-and-so person. And I'm thinking, so this is something that sounds like you do this all the time. This isn't really deliberate to a specific person that you feel a certain way about. This is just who you are. So I'm like, it was very early on, not even a good month, just chatting, right? The person sends me one of these ones at night. Here comes this picture. It's in like a cream colored outfit or what have you. With your 90s or what have you. And then here comes, all of a sudden they start firing off all these different ones, and they all had different colors. And she says, I'm just trying to keep it spicy. But what she forgot on tonight was her hair was different in about 3 of them. So they were not new, fresh pictures. These were from her. These were pictures from her archives.
In the camera roll, in the gallery?
These are from her archives, and she just had all these on-demand pictures. And so if she sent them to me that night, within that 1 month, certainly these pictures were all over the universe. So that was a huge turn off for me, because I was like, this is I don't feel deliberately blessed at all. I feel like this is just some kind of tantrum going on. So anyway, I had to back up off of that. I said, no, you're too well versed in this. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, again,
well versed, Charles?
I mean, my thing is this. That kind of trust and stuff gets to a place of, you got to feel comfortable with the person, that you got some time in, and it's okay to kind of be a little risque, but just, you don't really know the person, and you firing off almost 10 or 15 flicks in different shots. This is just something different for you. So no, that's okay.
So what I hear you saying, there's a very thin line between tasteful and tacky.
Absolutely.
When it comes to sexting, period. It's a thin line between what is acceptable and what's not, as far as when it comes to sexting. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine about that not long ago, and you know, sexting has different levels. You got the people who do the actual talking. You know, they just exchange words, and there's really no images. They just talk about it. Then you got the image exchangers. Then you got the people who do videos, who actually
whole nine.
They self-gratify with
each other.
Yeah. What'd you say? They do what?
In front of one another.
Oh, I thought you said another. I was going to tell you what the term is called, but I'm not going to say it on here, because they might block my social media page. But you know, some people, they do videos where they climax together on a video or whatever. Right. And then you got the people who do all of it: the pictures, the self-gratification, the talking, all this kind of stuff. Well, my whole thing about that is, we live in a microwave society, and that just contributes to the downplay of the relationship part, where the communication is just all eroticism, but it has no value to it. There's no build up of energy as far as the communication, the connection, and stuff like that. So if you're doing all that stuff on a video and whatever, it's just like watching porn. What do I really, what is there really to look forward to if this is, you getting all this from this person? If somebody, okay, this is what my question is. If a girl is sending a guy erotic images like this, is somewhere in the back of the dude's mind, is he thinking that she has done this with everybody? It don't matter how many, it just matters that she did it, period.
Well, put it like this. Some women have levels to it. And see, I think we're making sexting directly at the act, as you just described, about the, gratification in front of each other and all that. Some people consider sexting anything that's kind of intimate that I'm sending you body-wise. And so, like, some women, they may not go too far. Maybe they'll button this all the way down to here, but you pretty much halfway, just about exposed. Or vice versa, guy teasing you with some kind of shot, whatever. And so to them, that's sexting. But to you, you're thinking sexting in the sense of climax only. Where some people feel like,
I'm thinking about all of it. I'm thinking about all of it.
But some people,
the raw penis.
Well, people have levels. People have levels to do it, and there's reasons when they do. Like, for instance, so think about it. If you're on a dating website or in today's time, social media, DMs, Facebook, whatever, and you start chatting with somebody, and maybe you are interested in them, right? For not even a good 20. Nowadays, people kind of bond online, and then they talk for hours. Think, all the good stuff comes out, and then soon as you get to that comfortable place in the conversation, the person might be like, let me see what I got. You want to see how I look when I've got a suit on, and they're looking for a suit picture. Then they're going to show you this one. The next thing you know, shoot, they done slipped in the baseball bat. But anyway, so then,
Wait a minute, hold on. You ain't going to slide past that. You're not going to slide past that. Did you say they slid in the baseball bat? Is that AKA the penis pic, the raw penis?
Yes. But here's the deal. Just for all the ladies listening to this tonight, and I'm sure the men will kick you out of the man cave for this one. But here's the thing. if you're meeting somebody and within that 24 to 48-hour window, if they send you the baseball bat picture, they are attempting to tell you, I want to forego all of this and skip to Netflix. Forget about going out to this. Forget about doing all of this. What I want to do is get you excited and curious enough at what I possess so that we can connect and commit into this activity. That's what they want.
Charles, let me help the men that's watching on tonight.
Please.
Fellas, I hope y'all listening. Let me help y'all fellas on this evening.
Okay.
As a scholarly woman, the scholarly woman that I am, if you're gonna send a penis pic, honey, put a bow tie on it or something. Don't just send it raw, honey. Put a tie on it. Put some kind of something nice, hey there, or something. Put a sign on it or something. But don't just send a raw penis picture. Ain't nobody want no raw penis picture. That's just it ain't. It's like penises. I honestly don't know why men want raw vagina pics either.
I'm trying to tell you.
Genitals are not.
They're not cute.
Attractive. They're not. I mean, they're not. I don't know why. I don't know what God was thinking when He made genitalia. So I was like, these things are not attractive, but they use.
I think it's case by case basis. I don't think everything is.
Well, I mean, I've seen a pretty penis a time or two, But the pink ghost is the pink ghost, Charles. It just is what it is.
Well, look, for us, we got it worse. We get to see the black eyes. Like somebody said, we just got this big old
what? I can't say
trouble. But anyway, all right.
Did you say the black eyes, Charles?
Yeah,
really?
The black eyes. I'm like, what is that? But anyway, so yeah.
You know what it is. You know what it is. But the raw, like I said, the raw penis pictures, that's not sexy. So fellas, if y'all gonna send a penis pics, honey, put that thing in a bow tie, something. Say, girl, I am waiting to touch you with this.
Or a ribbon, a bow ribbon from the Christmas bow. The bows you put on the top.
Yeah, there you go. The Christmas. Yeah. Go to 5 and below and get you some assets for that thing, honey. Get some assets.
Okay. All right.
Do something with it, but don't just send a raw penis.
Man, we don't get into all that. Once our mind is set, we don't care about all those pleasantries. We just ready for action. That's it.
Charles, listen to me, Charles. Listen.
Well, why do you think when they show them porn movies, you see the man, he got on tube socks and flip flops? He doesn't care. He just doing what he does.
No, I ain't never seen no porn with no tube socks and flip flops.
We look at them little black amateur ones.
I've seen the good porn, honey. I watch some amateur. I mean, okay, look, TMI EFG, but But you know what? I sit here and I think about it. I think that I like what you said earlier. I do think that if you're with somebody and you have a defined relationship that has been built up. See, here's my thing here's where I feel like the disconnect comes if it's too early. If it's happening too soon. I think if you have to build up the relationship, build
to
up
get to that place, to get to that point.
Right. And it's sensually attractive when a guy says, "Oh, babe, turn around." Like if you fully dressed and sometimes the girl got on a dress and she has a really nice body and you haven't really been able to tap it yet. Like Bruce always talked about, you're a cookie monster, but you ain't got in the cookie jar yet. And you say, "Hey, turn to the side and send me another picture, and push your booty out a little bit or something, babe. Just, let me see it.
This conversation is going to the left.
Okay,
go ahead.
But I'm just saying,
too much.
that's tasteful because the girl is still dressed.
Yeah.
So
I hear feedback on your end. Even it's something on your side is feedbacking. You have two devices going at once. I can hear myself echoing on your side.
Wait a minute. Let me. Okay, I turned the volume down on my other device.
You had two things going at once.
Okay, I turned it down.
I can hear. That's better. I don't hear now.
I think it was the volume was too high.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting excited about this sexting thing on tonight, Charles.
That's great. Keep back to the focus. Now, come on.
But, it's attractive and appealing if it's not too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, at some point, I think one of the things where the fine line draws for probably men and women, when a person starts to think a little to the left is when something comes, put it like this. If we receive anything that we feel has not really been warranted yet, like it's kind of like a earning. You need to earn this.
Absolutely.
Don't give somebody something without something being earned. Now, so we're going to automatically think this is just your MO, and somewhere on this God's gift green earth, you are collecting you have a cyber stash, and you are potentially a part of this cyber stash. And that's how you have to think about
You
it.
just talking about that old crazy nasty girl you met. But anyway, let's go to the
No,
chat
listen,
real quick.
these are people out here. Trust me. People have cemeteries in their phones of people's lives in body parts. Trust and believe.
Did you say cemeteries, Charles?
Yes, all over this stuff. They got cyber. That's
Wait
what
a
I'm
minute,
saying. They
wait a
are
minute,
cyber
Charles. Wait
stashes
a minute,
all over.
Charles. My girlfriend just inboxed me. She said she has a whole folder of penis pictures.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But
So
this further contributes to the conversation we had last week of the situation shifts, because now what that does is when you have this folder on demand of all of these different whatever it is you like, if you're a very, very vibrant heterosexual woman, you will tap into your database upon your needs, and you will be spinning for days. So you got to
anyway,
watch
Charles,
out.
let me tell you something, Charles. Don't be side promoting your company on the slide on here, honey.
Whatever.
Get
No.
yourself focused on it. Nobody talking about no situation. Get back to the show, honey. You all sidebar talking about, last week's show. That ain't happened on the hot seat last week. That was on Unique Perspective Love Talk Radio. They ain't got nothing to do with the hot seat, sir.
Whatever. You was there. So go on. Come on.
Don't talk about where I was at, honey. Don't tell people
Right.
where I'm at. Don't tell folks where I'm at on Monday. That ain't their business. Mondays ain't got nothing to do with Tuesday, honey. That's 2 different days of the week.
Right.
So, Brentic says, I don't send any pics, but if a sister sends them to me, I am grateful for finding favor with that woman. And then you already read what old nasty Walter said. Well, it's crazy. Oh, terrible self. And then Bruce said, hey guys, what up, Bruce? Then Marcus says, if the lady reacts in a positive way to your penis pics,
who says that?
That's a chance he can have sex.
Correct.
Then he said, this boy talking about, look, Marcus talking about amateur is the best. Whatever, Marcus.
Yeah, the amateur porn, yeah. But no, but this is, I'm telling you, it's unfortunate, but this is the culture today. I guarantee you, most women, if they're honest, and unfortunately, we gotta even take this to the church house. It don't take
we're not going to church tonight. We're in the club right now.
No, I'm making a point. It's just when people are connecting today, people, it's really not good. But we're at the point now where people are in a hurry to move past the process, and the best way to move past the process is to introduce the physical strongly. If you introduce the physical, you can put people to sleep and put them foggy glasses on, and the rest is history.
Okay, but here's the thing. And women are just as guilty as men are now, because
of course
it just depends on, like you said, when you talk about the bold heterosexual female who has a strong sexual prowess, she, that particular female doesn't want to go through all the energy of trying to get to know you and all that, and building up to what's the word I'm looking for? Building up to a disappointment in performance. So a lot of women, they want to get your performance out first before they even go through all the rest of the process. So you're right. A lot of times now, with us living in a microwave society and all the stuff that's going on, some people just simply say, hey, you know what? Whether it's a guy or a girl, they say, let's go forego all this. Let me see what you're working with. You see what I'm working with. I'll meet you here. You meet me there. And let's go ahead and get this popping. Get it all over with.
Right.
Which is a hot mess when you really think about the big picture. But Brenton says, usually if she's sending you a nude, you've already got it, or she wants you to make your way over to get it. And Marcus says that's true. And then Brenton says it's always best to let her send the pic. Don't ask her to send it. Let her send them to you. That's true. And that's true because it's organic. It's not like the guy's begging, because if a guy asks a chick for a picture, a lot of times she feel like he's begging, or he's thirsty, or he's trying to see what she got, and he didn't see what everybody else got, so he's comparing notes or whatever as far as that's concerned. And then he said, Brentic says, shout out to Big Low and Chocolate Drink. Oh my God. You know what? Brentic is acting up tonight.
What did he say?
He's about shout out to Big Low and Chocolate Dreams. But seriously, on a very serious note though, Charles, when I really think about sexting, that's the only time that I've ever participated, just to be very transparent, was when I was engaged or married.
Mm-hmm.
As far as images were
Mm-hmm.
concerned, the dialogue is a different subject because I kind of think it's kind of sexy to say, what you want your
Yeah.
man to do to you, and you say what you want to do to her, blah blah blah. But as far as going past that with somebody that I'm not totally tied to in some kind of capacity where both of us have a fear of loss, if you will,
Yeah.
then it's not, I don't think it's a real smart idea to do it.
Mm.
If it and it's and it can't be one sided. It can't just be you sending all the images. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or another way to self preserve, because somebody just inboxed me and said, oh, "What about sending the pictures with your head cut off? He don't know if it's you or somebody else." True. I was gonna say another way to self preserve is to not have your face in the picture.
Yeah, but today we'll push you to the limit and match your tattoos. That's not gonna work. So it don't matter your face in there, not your shape is the same.
How you put that
And
like the tattoo? You
I'm just saying there are ways to identify the body. If your face is not in there, not, if somebody was on that kind of time, they still can collect the receipts. Don't matter. So the object of the game is to do this activity with someone, like you said, that you trust and you feel you have a strong commitment. Because it can take the relationship to another level if done right. Well, if a person is like an obliger, you be like, sometimes you may not be able to get to them. Maybe they're a little far away or whatever the case. Baby, I need such and such. I got you, and they're gonna take care of it, and that's it. And that little psychological bit can carry you right on for a minute, rather than you just going totally without. Period. You know.
So you think that, so unlike what Bridget was saying in the comments, you think it's okay to initiate the, hey, send me, I need some stimulation. I need you to send me an image that's gonna help me to go ahead and deal with this situation that I'm in of not seeing you or having access to you.
Now let me preface this by saying
Yeah,
this.
preface it, Charles, because it's girls don't like
My
their dude to ask for it.
stimulation, my stimulation begins and ends at the image. I don't need it for anything else. I just like the mental stimulation. For me, it's psychological. It's all in there, and that's where it stays. I don't need to go. I don't
Look,
need to pull
look,
out any. I don't need to go pull out nothing else. That's
let me
pretty much
say
it.
this to you on tonight,
Well,
Charles. Let me explain something to you on this
all
evening.
right.
It started in David's mind too when he saw old girl taking a bath on tonight. So it started in his mind also. But at some point, honey, it's gonna come out the mind and hit somebody's
Oh
sheets.
no, no, I'm not talking about you not desiring the action with your person. I'm talking about like some people take the images and they take matters into their own hands. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, you get my drift.
Well, Miss Deborah said something interesting. She said you can just FaceTime and be nasty. Why send a picture that someone can share with others? Well,
Well, guess what?
let me
FaceTime,
tell you
tell
about
them,
the
tell them.
FaceTime ministry. Let me tell
They'll
you about the
copy it. They'll
FaceTime
copy the
ministry.
picture. They can
No,
copy
let me tell you, let me tell you something about this FaceTime ministry. And I'm not gonna call anybody's name on this evening.
it.
I'm gonna remain neutral at this time. But I had a friend of mine who FaceTime. This is for Miss Deborah. I had a friend of mine who FaceTime this dude that she was messing with, right?
Okay.
And she was posing on the all fours ministry, the doggy style, in that particular dynamic and whatnot.
This is really not too good. Go ahead.
It is what it is.
Oh,
So while she thinking that she just, doing a little dancing and whatever and
right,
kind of shaking it fast for his own
right.
viewing pleasure, this Negro was filming it.
Of course.
So she thinking that, we on FaceTime, this is an exclusive dialogue, conversation, or whatever. This dude was literally filming her behavior,
Mm.
and later he used it to blackmail her for something else that transpired with the situationship that she was in. She thought she was in a relationship, but she was in a situationship.
Mm.
So to answer your question, Miss Deborah, the FaceTiming is dangerous too. It's just as bad as the picture. Because
But here's the thing: all of those.
I think a video is worse evidence than a picture.
But see, here's the thing: all of those video apps have, if you look at them, they all have snap and caption functions. So if somebody's doing that, they can be on there and you can be doing whatever you're doing and you thinking that you just live and direct and that's it. They on there
Right.
saying they smiling and that's cute. And they saying hit and all your pictures are
Exactly.
being
The
saved.
whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about with him doing that video, I was like, this girl was, she was crushed because he DM'd it to her. He DM'd her the video and said, now if you don't do whatever he was requesting her to do, and she didn't want to do it. So now you didn't DM me a video of myself shaking it fast and doing what I'm doing, and now I'm out here in cyberspace on a freaking video. Literally, basically porn, amateur porn, like Marcus said earlier.
Mm.
So that's why I was saying it's much better to just kind of stay away from all of that stuff, because you don't know what's going on in the mind of the other person. We can all play here's his thing. The time that we live in now, Charles, and I know you can agree to this. You may think you're exclusive with somebody, but you really ain't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
People sell you whatever your dream is.
Yeah.
Whatever your dream is. And nowadays it's become so sad because people have done it for so long, they've mastered the behavior. So they're selling somebody this dream, selling them a lie, making them believe that this is what they want. They telling the person everything they want to hear, and it's a time frame is not even relevant, because you could be with somebody for a long time and they still be selling you a pipe dream. But all the while, the person is setting you up for a fall, and you don't even know that you're on a slow decline down the doggone side of a cliff, and that you're about to die. Dealing with a person that does not have the same level of integrity or is committed to what you thought was a commitment on both ends of the equation. That's why the sexting thing can get really, really out of hand. It's one thing if somebody sends you a dialogue from a phone or whatever, and they going back and they screenshot it. The good thing about that, here's the good part about it. You can say that P Coffee sent me all this, but that ain't proof that I sent it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can do all kind of stuff on these phones now if somebody's just going with words. But like you said, when you start putting out images, when you start doing videos and all that kind of stuff, it's no way around that stuff. You just out there, and you don't even know you out there. And especially if it's somebody who always wants to be on the receiving end, but it's not dual exchange. It's not an even exchange.
Right. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because even, fair exchange ain't robbery.
Yeah.
If it's a fair exchange. But a lot of times it's not fair exchange. It's just one person, and they want you to put yourself out there, and you put yourself in all these compromising positions, and they like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm oblivious to what you're saying. They passing the information on to other people. Other dudes got your images and stuff, and you wonder, you thinking these guys genuinely interested in you, and the guy is setting you up. He pretty much pimping you out at that point. Because he's sending it to his boys, and his boys inboxing you. You thinking, oh my God, he think I'm so cute, this, that, and the other. You don't know he got a whole arsenal of images of you naked in his phone.
Wow.
On tonight. So we got a lot of stuff going on in this chat over here. I'm gonna read some of this stuff off. Sharia said that's why it needs to be with someone you are truly connected to, like you said, Coffee. And then Deborah said, just say no, just like drugs, just say no. And then Carrie said that's just ratchet. And then Sharia said exactly. Then Ms. Deborah said it's better not to do it at all if you want it. Better come and get it in person. Oh my, on tonight. All right, now we're going to get it on tonight in person ministry. Go ahead on, Miss Deborah.
Oh, terrible.
Miss Deborah say, come on and get it, honey, if you want it, honey.
Yeah.
And then Kimberly Adiva says, I think it's fine to send pics and videos to the one you're with if they are into it. However, you have so many women sending their rotten coochie. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Kimberly Adiva, I love it. She said rotten coochies and milk gone bad titties through the mail to wherever. Oh my God. She said milk gone bad titties. I'm so done right now.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God. Through the mail to whoever will answer and respond. It's a go with my guy, but not as an invitation or advertisement or marketing trick for a new relationship. I'm sorry. Keep it classy. Very true.
Oh,
and
wow.
then Carrie said, good night, good people. She's so funny.
Oh Lord.
And then Brenda said, not milk gone bad.
Oh.
And then Bridget said, with it back to Kimberly, he said crust up with cornbread. Oh my, okay.
Oh my.
Praise the Lord. Y'all
Oh.
praise the Lord.
Right.
He said crust up with cornbread. I'm done. I'm done. I can't read no more comments tonight. After you said the rotten coochie and the the milk gone bad titties. I'm done.
God have mercy.
I can't do no more tonight. That's a wrap. I flatlined at that point. But you know what? It's true though, Charles. It's true. This is a very sticky subject, and it's very challenging because you don't really know who you're dealing with in totality until you know who you're dealing with in totality.
Yeah,
You
true,
know.
true.
So let me ask you a question, Charles.
And then here's the
You
other three. Oh, boy, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
don't have to tell on yourself, Charles. You don't have to
Huh?
tell on yourself. You don't have to tell on
Hey.
yourself.
No.
But Charles, let me ask you a question about anatomy physiology.
Oh, go ahead.
Have you ever been uh um have you ever had your anatomy physiology exposed in technology, Charles?
Against my own will?
No,
Never.
no, it's with your will.
Oh, I have, yeah, yes.
You say
Sure. Um,
are you saying quite possibly, Charles, that your anatomy
sure.
physiology is being
But
on
trust and believe us very discreetly. It's not on Ebony Magazine by no fail. No, no stress.
okay. No stretch of the
Yeah,
imagination is
none
it
of
on
that. Yeah,
everything.
very discreet.
Charles, when you become a multimillionaire and we're at the Oscars and everything and I'm sitting on the front row cheering you on with
Then
my
I'm
husband.
gonna then I'll pull out my disclaimers, my non-disclosure non-disclosure. Yeah.
And we're at the Oscars, and I get a text saying, "Hey, your co-host has a video. It's actually gone viral now."
Oh Lord, Jesus Christ.
Oh
Mm.
my God! No, seriously though, Charles. Um, would you say that this may just be something that people need to just kind of stay away from, or would you say that there is a way to do it, a way to know who you're dealing with, and a way to know what their motive is for getting the images or the videos or whatever. Is there is there a
I
real way
like
to
what you said. I like what you said earlier, and I think it's best to think of it this way. If you're gonna get into that kind of stuff, you got to make certain that the person feels and knows that they have just as much to lose as you. If you are just doing this willy nilly in this culture, you'll be all over the place in any and everywhere. You just don't know. I mean, so many outlets of different types of portals and websites for this, that, and other. You don't know where you'll end up. So,
Right.
and people nowadays are so opportunistic mentally. They'll put your stuff just, somebody might pay somebody to put you somewhere or whatever. And people will just might do it to be the person that hacked it
Right.
and leaked it. So you just really can't be like that's why. So if you're going to do that, I'm not saying that it doesn't have advantages and romantic benefits if done right. You just have to do it with with your spouse or like you said, you heavily trustfully committed and you feel like you're in a safe space. You hope, but if you just doing willy nilly just to whoever and ever, that's no, it's not gonna be
Yeah,
good.
and that's true because like when I got married, the gloves was off, and
Yeah.
it was funny because I remember the first year I was married, and my husband was like, where's all this coming from? You ain't show me all this before when we was dating and stuff. I ain't know you even got down like this. I was like, you weren't
Right.
supposed to know I got down like that. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to be, there's levels to relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
everything shouldn't be at everybody's like you said earlier, for everybody's viewing pleasure. Like when you were talking about the situation with old girl earlier, and you were saying she had this whole folder of skeletons and
Yeah.
images, and that's sad because she hadn't had any kind of concept of thinking to where she did this for the person that she really cared about and had a valuable relationship with and a strong exchange with. She just did it with anybody. Because even if you keeping them, you're not even supposed to keep the pictures. You're supposed to
But
delete
I'll
them.
tell you what it is. Some people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this particular person, I don't think that they did not want a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I think her psyche was, let me keep my arsenal of connection pellets, if you will. She felt
Mm-hmm.
as though she could throw these little things out, and they were going to escalate my interest to be like, yeah, this is how you rock. You go ahead and you like to dress up for your man and do all this stuff, and yeah, all that is great. But I don't want to think you do it to. You got it all in your phones. 9 times out of 10, if you got 120 some pictures in your phone of different outfits, you shooting them off to whoever. You're
But
not just getting to me.
that's my point. When you do it, it should be done and deleted. It shouldn't
Correct.
be done with the intent of let me hold on to these pictures for a later time because
But I'm gonna tell you that if we honest, people do when you get those every now and then. If you have ever subscribed to this, you catch yourself or whoever she catch herself in a great image, and that's your classic image. And unfortunately, that image end up surfacing here, there, and over there. It just really does, especially if it's no different than you see these Instagram people or these porn images or these advertisements. It's a great shot of that person, so they're not just gonna say, you know what, this is just for Teddy today. Let me go ahead and delete it. See, they're gonna keep it. They're gonna look at it themselves. And so when that convenient moment happened, why do you think when people are on these sites or when they're meeting, people might say, well, I might have a picture. Let me look and find it because you kept it. You didn't delete it. They have it in their phone because it's something that they idolize about themselves. So, this happens.
that's a little
Now,
bit of that's a little extra with the selfies, ain't it?
what it is. But you know what? Now, hold on. Now, my mind is taking me to another question, P.
Oh,
Coffee.
don't ask me nothing on
Oh,
tonight.
no,
Don't
no, no,
ask me
no.
nothing on
Listen.
tonight.
Now, I know you wanted to give the good girl image with the husband and fiance and all that, but I'm inclined on tonight to wonder, I think there's someone may, potentially have you in the porn grave somewhere or some kind of selfie that you may have seen
My
in
God,
the
on this
dating
scene.
scene. So have you yourself? Oh, wait, now don't get all uncomfortable now. Now have seen yourself in these predicaments where the men have have caused you to slide out some inappropriates. Hmm.
I think I think it's at 9 o'clock. Oh, it's almost
Oh
9 o'clock. Oh,
yeah. Oh Lord.
Charles, I will say this. Um, oh God, on tonight. Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Charles, really? I will say this on this evening, Charles. In my yesteryears, when I was younger and not as well refined as I am now,
Uh-huh.
there is a high probability that there may be an image of sorts out
Mm.
there in cyber world.
Now we're
Maybe
not talking about no. Now we're not talking about as in 3 years ago. We're just talking, just keep it 100 with you, Jesus. You
oh
know.
my
Let me tell you what women don't. This is what women don't understand. At a certain age,
God. Oh my God.
women repeat what they did in their 20s. When they get in
Oh
their
my.
40s,
Oh
life
my.
turns around
My.
again and they become 20 all over again. Thus, that
My
sexual
Lord.
height goes way up there and any and everything begins to happen. So, yes, I understand all tonight.
Charles, on this evening, Charles, I will say this, Charles. At the young age that I am now, which I will not reveal my age on this evening, I look a clean 34.5, and I'm going to stay there, Charles, for the sake of arguments. And don't add tax tag and shipping because I see you calculating and adding tax tab and add a few things onto my age bracket, but I'm staying at 34 and a half. So at 34 and a half, Charles, I don't find pleasure in just putting myself out there in the streets, honey.
Okay, all right.
No, it was definitely in the yesteryears. It wasn't from 72 months ago, Charles. It was
Oh, okay, thank you. It sounds good. Thank you.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Charles, you don't buy what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. No, no.
Your whole face,
Unfortunately,
your whole face like,
unfortunately,
nah, I'll be
yeah.
copy.
Unfortunately, we live in the era of relevancy, and this is why this selfie and sexting phenomenon has blown up the way it is because people are like, look, what I can't do in person, I can do in TV, but you are
Uh-huh.
certainly going to have me on your mind, and so people have escalated this type of behavior, videos, and all this because they want to stay in your psyche. That's why they do it.
Well, Charles, I will say this, honey. Victoria is not always a secret. I just want to say that on tonight, Charles.
Oh,
Victoria
I
is
know.
just not always a secret, honey. Okay, just not always.
Yeah.
So listen, Miss Deidre say, "Hey D." Deidre Carter said, "Grown folks do what grown folks do. I say if you have a reputation to protect, you better think twice. Absolutely." And then Brenton said, "Charles is all right in my book. Lord have mercy." Deidre says Charles is blushing. And then Deborah said, "You can't trust no one nowadays. It's
Yeah,
not
you better not.
how
Yeah.
you enter a relationship, it's how you exit. As soon as you have have adversity and someone gets mad, then the pictures may be all over
Yeah.
the world just
Yeah.
out of spite. It's just
Yeah.
not worth it." And what I think about that, when I think about stuff like that, Charles, I will say this. When I think about stuff like that and people, it's like the girl that gets mad because guy moves on. Then she
Yeah.
starts posting all these old pictures of her and the guy on her
Right.
social media page. She mad
Right.
because he moved on. He didn't
Right.
he didn't he didn't advise her that she was a part of a harem, if you will, and she was on the baseball team, and she didn't know she was gunning for a position. She thought she was in the lead position and she was captain of the team, but she really wasn't. So here it is now. She posting all this stuff on social media, mad because he done moved on. But what I
Mm.
say about that is that person has some serious issues because you're trying to make somebody else look bad, but you look like Boo Boo the fool,
Mm.
the person that's sending that stuff. That's sad that they would do that. It says something about them as a person. It says that they cannot be trusted. It says they
Mm.
lack integrity. It says that they have no kind of concern or consideration for other people's lives, their personal lives. This kind of stuff is very, very personal. It's not a public
Mm.
expression. It's very, very personal.
Mm.
So for someone to go back and take all these images or videos or whatever the case might be and put them out there, it speaks to who they are, and they have no integrity at all.
Well, but here's the thing. In this day and time, images, period, sexting or not, it makes you nervous. It makes you nervous, and a person may just be, they may be a memorabilia type person, and they might just love pictures in the state of love. But when it's a lot, and when it's a lot, and when it's a lot, taking a picture, it makes you nervous because you know in yourself, somewhere, a briefcase is large enough of proof. And when I say proof, people collect these things because they want to be able to prove assimilation should you ever go about face. And it's really, so it's more like weaponizing. It's not really, you're not really taking meaningful moments. It feels like weaponry. You kind of building up your arsenal to shoot me down later with, you know?
Well, that's why I said that both parties have to have a fear of loss. That's why I say
Yeah.
that. I
They
always
have
say that
something to lose. Yeah.
when it comes to relationships, period. I learned like probably like 15 years ago not to ever be involved with anybody who does not have something to lose, period,
Right.
as it pertains to relational in any kind of capacity, because you're dealing with somebody who is a loose cannon at that point. They can fire off at any time. When you're dealing with somebody who understands that they have a fear of loss and it could cost them something, they're not going to put themselves on the chopping block.
Well, right. You're right.
And like me, I'm too cute to commit suicide, so I ain't gonna kill my own self, honey.
Mm.
I ain't gonna ever hurt myself, honey. I don't want to be in that casket with some blow, honey. I don't want to have a closed casket because of myself, honey, on tonight. No, sir. Mm-mm. I'm just too cute to hurt myself. So when I think about that, I'm not gonna inflict a self wound
Right.
on myself to harm myself. So I would rather deal with somebody who understands that they don't want self-inflicted wounds. They don't want somebody to be in their space that would bring harm to them, that have no fear of loss and they don't have something to lose. We all
Right.
hope to gain something, but the fear of loss is what drives things when it comes to humans, as it is, with a lot of things. You give somebody something and the probability of them losing it. I mean, think about it. We get these jobs, these properties, these vehicles, and all that, and the fear of loss is what keeps some of us paying the bill every month.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like we don't want to look like we crazy because now we don't have no house, we don't have no car, we don't have a job, blah blah dot 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 fizz. So
Right.
we do what we have to do to keep that image
Going.
portrayed in that public setting.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So, Deidre says you got to have a whole arsenal of tactics to stay on someone's mind. It can't be limited to just sexting. There are a
Oh,
million
yeah.
images out there. You're right. You better bring more than voice, videos, and pictures out there. You sure right about that, honey.
But you know what? The thing of it is, the war that's being won, unfortunately, right now, is the war that's in favor of the flesh. Right now, the flesh team is winning. I don't
True.
care if nobody's there. You look everywhere you look, it is flesh, and it is driving the culture of people and their marriages, and that's why people are they're going away from the monogamous to let's talk to the people down the street and see what
Yeah,
they
the
want to
open
come over.
relationships.
You
Yeah,
got all everybody.
yeah,
The flesh is just tearing folks apart.
right,
Nobody can even. Nobody want to trust anybody because you feel like everybody is open to this and like you want to say, why you got to be open to that? Why can't you just want to be closed right here? But everybody,
right,
I'm open to that. I'm a little optimistic, and it's like, and it makes it hard for you if you really want to commit and bond with somebody on that level. You want to feel like we can close the ring. The ring is sealing us. But if
right.
you feel like there's those crevices and these cracks in there, it makes anybody, if it makes you a little uncomfortable because it makes you feel like, what are my limitations here? Because I want to be free, but are we really free or am I just in invisible bonds? Which one?
My Lord, on
So
this
yeah, so
invisible bond.
yeah, so I don't know.
Charles Bruce has summons us to the table. He says we're gonna need to fast tomorrow till 6 p.m. because of the show.
Yeah, we started, bro.
He called
Bruce,
the solemn fast tomorrow till 6 o'clock. He's talking about you and Charles.
oh, Bruce,
Two of y'all to fast tomorrow till six
Bruce,
o'clock.
Bruce, she like her mama said, she been off fast with this old topic, Bruce.
See,
I
you
don't
know
know what's
what?
wrong
See,
with
you
her.
wrong. You
Being
so
fast and talking about some sexting.
see you wrong.
Anyway.
You wrong. Cause see, look, you trying to throw me under the bus, honey, but you agreed. How can two walk except they agree, honey? You was in full
uh,
agreement on tonight, honey. Don't act like you
you
wasn't in
know,
agreement, honey.
I just say, what they all got to be talked about. Let's go on around the table.
Don't try to
Oh.
downplay it now, honey. Play innocent, honey. We know. We know. We know. We know when we get to the Oscars, honey, we're gonna have to call in the goon squad to hide them videos. But anyway,
Oh, Lord.
so Jason said real loyalty is true um, when relationship ends. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Even when the
Yeah.
relationship is gone, the loyalty remains intact. I
Yeah.
totally agree because that's real commitment to the relationship. And a lot of times, like what you just said a little while ago about it being this age of extreme sexual prowess where these people exerting all this energy for physical
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff right now that's going on is people are not friends. They have
Yeah.
no base of friendship
Yeah.
with
Or
these
real communication either.
no
Yeah.
real friendship, no real communication, no real connection. And a lot of this sexting stuff prohibits us from connecting and communicating and really having the value in the relationship. Is so one-sided. It's just so focused and inundated on, let me see. Oh, what you got on? Oh, let me see how you, oh, turn around. Let me see this. Oh, do this, do that. And it's unfortunate because it's just that microwave mentality where people are seeking that euphoria and that's all they care about is the next high. They don't care about
But
nothing else
it's
but getting
what
high.
it's what technology is feeding us, and unfortunately,
Absolutely.
the men and women do this, but men and women are really trying to get their lay people that's actually in their face, not Instagram world people that's actually in their face. They're wanting you to emulate what they see every day. They want you to be like this person, especially
Right.
if let's just say a woman got a real nice shape naturally. She didn't get no work done. She just got
Right.
a nice shape. Like a lot
Right.
of those women that it looks like, you don't know what they've done, but it looks like, you got all these weird bodies all over the place online,
Right.
whatever. So the guy
Right.
is like, he's like, look, that's attractive to me, but this is what I want to see. Can you emulate this? And that's kind of what happens, unfortunately.
And that's
Yeah.
scary because, like I said when we first started, all of this stuff is fake, and that's why a lot of females have a tendency to want to clean up the image instead of like when you
Yeah,
were saying
yeah.
when you were saying it's organic, just straight shoot. Send me the picture right now. You waiting for 3 hours? I'm like, dang, babe, I thought you was gonna send me a picture. So 3 hours later, you get this clean, pristine looking picture, and you're like, oh, this is really beautiful. But at the end of the day, her natural essence and her natural scars that she's gotten from over the years or whatever, or just being a woman, just the wear and tear on the human body,
Mm.
it makes you think that you're getting something that you're not getting.
Correct.
at all. That's not what you
Correct.
really,
Absolutely. It's
yeah, yeah.
psychological. Yeah, it's psychological.
Yeah, it's not really what you're gonna get. And that comes again from the overstimulation and all the stuff we see on these platforms. These people look like they really look like this
Correct.
organically, and they
Yeah.
really don't. And you
Yeah.
know, another thing too that's scary, and we'll stop right here. Another thing too that's scary is a lot of us think that this is females that we're looking at, but they're not women.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
These are men that have had procedures done to make them look like a woman.
Right.
And so a lot of times we think that we're looking at a woman or a girl, or a girl thinks she's
You
looking at
have
a
no
man.
idea.
You
Yeah.
don't know what you're really getting yourself into. You don't know what they really are. Because you know,
Hmm.
some females have gotten themselves changed to look exactly like a man, and some men have changed to look like incredibly gorgeous women.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know, RuPaul started an era, and it's not being judgmental, you guys. Don't think that. But I'm just talking about the falsity of the images and the stuff that we see. When
Right.
RuPaul started that drag years and years ago,
Yeah. That was it.
when I tell you that that was the most pretty man, I was like, oh my God, that's a dude, you know. So that was crazy. But just think about the fact that if somebody can transform themselves to look a particular way just in that moment to get you to buy something, that's the danger part of all of this stuff.
Mm.
Is when people try to get you to buy something that's just not real.
Wow.
So, Mr. Dixon, bring the train on into the station.
Mm.
And let us go ahead and give the benediction on this evening because Bruce said we got to go on a fast. So I need to eat before the
Mm.
fast starts.
Well, I say on tonight, if you want to take the shortcut out, you and your person invest in some Polaroid cameras and take all types of scantily clad pictures and take them all over the bedroom when your husband's sleeping in the bed. Women go in the bathroom and put pictures all over this, and when he gets up, he can be surprised, and you can stay on his mind all day, except you won't be in the cyber trash nowhere. All right? Now, do this with someone trusted, and you communicate if you have to do it at all. If you have to do it, I repeat, if you have to do it at all, do it with someone that you really trust and that you really feel has something to lose, and they respect you. Because if they don't respect you, their cousin, nephew, their boy gonna see at the barbershop, and it's just I've seen plenty of men in the barbershop. Hey, look at this right here. Look at Shawty. I had her last night. Plenty of men I've seen them do it. So if you don't want to do this, don't subject yourself to it.
Well, Charles, you know, when the show ends, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of the skeletons from my phone at this time.
Uh-huh.
I
already sent a letter to your parents' house. Too late now. We're gone.
Charles, don't bring my mom and dad into this now. That ain't funny, Charles. Don't you bring my mom and dad into this. Don't you even try. Charles, you know what? I'm going to have a talk with you after the show. Don't bring my mom and dad into this now. That ain't funny now, Charles. You know what? Good night, Charles. I'm so glad. Do not bring my parents into this. What's wrong with you? I'll tell you what, Charles. You need to get yourself together, Charles. You know that? Get it together, okay?
Oh, Lord.
All right. But you guys, next week we're going to be back, same bad time, same bad channel. This has been incredible, Mr. Dixon. It's been good to have you on the show with me on this evening, back to our normal, you know, you and I rocking the wheel and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, this was fun for us to get back, you know, join forces again, Batman and Robin, you know, that kind of thing. But listen, Mr. Dixon, I want you to cash at me. Enough money to go get me some steak and potatoes. Now you brought my mom and dad in here. I'm sad. I'm sad. Okay, my feelings is hurt. I only got one feeling. I got one feeling, and you heard it. You know you're wrong. So, you guys, we will see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. And Bruce, you go ahead and inbox Charles about the fast because he's the one that needs to fast on tonight. Truth be told.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Good night, Mr. Dixon. All right.
All right.